guys, welcome to Tinderbox. I am Tinder and this is where I speak my truth, my whole truth, and nothing but my truth. So first things first, I hope you and yours are keeping well and safe and sound, and that you're actually easing out of lockdown. I mean, it's exciting times. I got to see some of my best friends, two of my best friends in Edinburgh, and I got to see them a few days ago, and I had to say it was out of this world. Like, I will never take anything for granted. We had a little picnic and we had a proper catch up, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm really excited for what's happening right now. Business is doing well. I mean, I've been really stressed out over the last few months, and of course, as you all know, right before the lockdown, I started my own business. And of course, the reason I became self-employed was because I love my job and I know I rock at it. And I was like, yes, I can do it alone. So let me just open my wings and flap them off and go do my own thing. Then the lockdown happened. So I didn't see that coming. Nobody ever saw COVID-19 coming. Nobody saw the lockdown coming. I mean, even when COVID-19 started, we thought that it would be something like the bird flu, or it would be just something contained in a certain part of the world and it won't affect us. So it definitely affected us, and it came to my hood, and we had the lockdown. Nobody was buying houses. So I'm a mortgage advisor, and nobody was buying houses. Nobody was selling houses. Everyone was staying put and just holding out to see what happens. So that affected business. I was still coming to the office as usual and still trying to keep that level of sanity. But with time, of course, if your business is not making income, then you're constantly stressed trying to stay afloat. I'm very lucky to have a very supportive boyfriend who's been holding me up. And of course, there are a few schemes that have been happening around with government schemes that have been helping self-employed people. So recently I got some help from the government, which was really good in keeping me afloat. So that has taken off a lot of pressure from me. I'm quite thankful about that. And it's one of the little things about being in a country like this, as opposed to probably being in Kenya, where I possibly wouldn't have gotten any help from anyone, and I would have had to basically hustle my business through the lockdown or just shut shop. So I'm quite thankful that that happened, and at least it has generated some income for the business, which will help me stay afloat until the storm ends. So that has been really good. Before I start today's vlog, a massive thank you to everyone that has been subscribing, sharing, liking, all the good stuff. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be feeling so excited about this without you guys. So I really appreciate it. Mwah! Thank you. Now, this week's vlog has been delayed, and it's mainly because I've not been feeling so well. So in the last 2 days, I don't know whether you can see my lip. I got the cold sores again, and my body was just telling me, you know what, Tinder, you need to slow down and take care of me. So I had to slow down. I've been drinking Lemsip, and I've been taking all kinds of meds within the last 2 days trying to kill it off, and it worked. So I mean, that's why there's a slight delay. Life happened. I also hadn't done all the research I needed to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to present a half-baked cake to you guys. I'll just wait until next weekend before I can present this week's vlog to you guys. So today I decided, you know what? I don't want to go without a video for this week, so I decided to do a Q&A, and I went on my social media and I told my friends, ask me anything you want to ask, go ahead and ask. I basically sent them notification like an hour ago, so I didn't give them enough time, but I have had a very good response, and I'm going to do the Q&A. So it's questions. people asking me questions, personal, family, lifestyle, anything that they want to ask me, anything that they want to know about me, they have asked. So I'm going to grab my phone and then we're going to do this. The first question was from my friend Yvonne. Hi Yvonne! Thanks so much for sending in your questions. And Yvonne asked, how do you deal with your family drama? How do I deal with it? I just tell them to lose my number. So I'm quite straightforward and very ruthless when it comes to dealing with my family drama. Me being in Edinburgh and my family being in Kenya, it doesn't help when there's drama. And of course, over the last few weeks, there has been drama, which is probably why I'm getting the cold sores, stressing out and stressing up. It's totally unnecessary. Family is family and you can't help it. But come on, guys, stop. Just stop. Stop it. That's how I deal with the drama. The second question Yvonne asked is, do you think you will ever settle back in Kenya? That is a very interesting one because I was having a conversation with one of my friends. Her name is Pauline yesterday, and we were just talking about Kenya and settling back in Kenya. And as much as I love Kenya, I don't see myself settling back in Kenya. I see myself having a home in Kenya where I can visit, but I think Edinburgh will be my main base. The reason that I would find it really hard moving back home is just how inconveniencing things can be. I've been in Edinburgh for over 10 years now, and the way I've been conditioned, of course, I expect things done a certain way and at a certain time. So if I moved back to Kenya, I would be constantly frustrated. And sometimes when I visit Kenya, which is home to me, within 2 weeks, I want to come back home. Things just don't work as they do here. I will address that on a different vlog, but no, I will not permanently settle down in Kenya, but I'll be moving back and forth. So yes, I love the sunshine, I love my family, I love my friends back home, but settling permanently, no, that's a no. And then Mara asked, where would our moral compass come from with our religion? Oof. Now, this is a very interesting question because I'm not religious, I'm an atheist, and I will just address it from my point of view. So my moral compass comes from the fact that I want to treat people the same way I want them to treat me. So I want to do unto others what I want them to do to me. And that in itself is enough for me. And I also believe in karma. So I believe that if you do something, it catches up with you. It definitely does catch up with you. I mean, I don't really feel that we need religion to teach us how to live with each other. If something is right, your gut instinct will tell you. And if something is wrong, your gut instinct will tell you. So I think it's very important to have a conscience and to always be in pursuit of a clear conscience, because that is what makes you approach people and apologize when you've done something wrong. And that is what makes you do what is right. So I think I've given you an answer. Yeah, so my moral compass comes from the need to have a clear conscience and also the desire to do unto others what I want them to do unto me. And then Isla, hi Isla. Isla asked me, what do you value the most in life right now? And what would you do to change it if needed? Okay. So what I value in life right now is sanity. I mean, my mental state is very, very important. That is the one thing that I have come to value, especially given the current COVID-19 situation. It's very important for me to keep the equilibrium up here in check. And what would I do to change it? So I would probably do things to enrich myself mentally. And that's why I've been listening to my audiobooks, and I've been listening to podcasts. I listen to really good music. I take time to think. I tend to take a few steps back and reflect on my life and just reflect on what I could do for myself. So right now I value my mental wellness, and I think that is what is probably pushing me through this crazy time. Okay, so Mara also asked how wide are your fabulous hips? And how long does it take Mr. to work his way around them? My hips are 52 inches. So, and then my waist is 34 inches. Yeah, my waist is 34, my hips are 52, so my hips are quite wide. And yes, it takes Mr. some skill. So there are definitely positions that we have to maneuver around, and he has to move me. It's like molding some paper mache or some plaster. He has to move his way around me. But I'm very, very flexible. So I swear I'm so flexible. I'm like a contortionist. So it definitely works. It works. But yes, my hips are quite big and I love them. I love them. And then Jen asked, Tinder, what attracted you to becoming a mortgage specialist? And she did ask if it's a boring question. So Jen, I'm a journalist by training, let's say. I've always done journalistic stuff, but then I ended up in the UK, and I don't know whether you watched my vlog, my very, very first vlog about the black job stereotype. So I just didn't want to do the jobs that are black jobs. And I ended up in the financial industry, and I was on the phones as a mortgage service advisor, and I was like, wow, I love this. I absolutely love this. And then I moved around the bank, and they sponsored me to become a mortgage advisor. They basically did everything. I was going to London, staying in 5-star hotels, flying around with the bank, and that's how I became a mortgage advisor. So I ended up becoming that, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't think you will ever forget the person who helped you get on the property ladder. The other day, I was speaking with a client of mine that I've been dealing with recently, and he told me, Martha, I don't know whether you know this, but you have a very good reputation in the mortgage market. And that touched me so hard. It made me almost want to just burst out in tears. I was very touched. I know that I'm good at what I do. I mean, my work ethic is really, really good. So I've never really doubted what I'm doing right now. But I bet if I was in a totally different industry, I would be great at it. And yeah, so that's how I ended up in mortgages. I know that I've gone on and on and on, but yes, that's how. And then Jen also asked, Tinder, I would love to know more about your thoughts on the Black Lives Matter protests, black men, and their non-black partners. Now, coincidentally, this week's vlog was meant to be about interracial relationships, so I will pack the second question for the next vlog, so I'll be working on it this coming week. But about the Black Lives Matter protests, now, a few weekends ago, I took part in a demonstration. As a black person, I'm not a fan of the Black Lives Matter, the organization. There's just so much, it's just so messy. But the words Black Lives Matter are very important to me, and that's why I went out there to demonstrate. Now, I was not in the crowd. I was in my little doo-doo, and we were driving around. There was a convoy, and it was so passionate, and I had signage all over my car. It was really good. So I think the fight for racial equality and the fight against police brutality is very important to me. But Black Lives Matter as an organization is, no, I don't like it. But about the protests, I feel that people, like Trevor Noah said, people have a right to demonstrate, and you can't really dictate how they do it. So Trevor said a contract has been broken, and I totally agree that people are mad, and I can't tell you how to be mad. I'm anti-violence, I'm anti-everything that is bad, but racism is one of those things that is bad. So if you want to fight fire with fire, it's entirely up to you. If you want to sit on the table and have a conversation, it's entirely up to you. So I can't dictate how people express their anger. And yeah, so that's it. And then my friend Esther, she's my bestest of friends, and I absolutely love her. So she was like, how do you manage to be so humble and have a big heart without believing in a greater being? Now this goes back to the answer I gave Mara. So a clear conscience is very, very important to me. So I think I'm very, very generous. Anybody that knows me knows how I will give you my last penny if I know that it means something to you. That's me. I'm quite generous in that way. And I don't even think about it. I'm like, you need it, I have it, there it is. If you love something I have more than I do, apart from my shoes, I will share it with you, and that's me. But when it comes to being humble, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thankful for what I have, and I tend to just relish the little things that mean so much to me that might not mean so much to other people. And my relationship with money is also quite different. To me, it's just money. It's just money. If you have it, you'll spend it. And yeah, when I have it, I'll give it to you. That is Esther. And then another Esther. Mwah. Hi, Essie. Now, this is another BFF. We've been friends forever, since high school. Now, Esther has asked me, how was your marriage experience? Yes, I've been married before. That's why I have the surname Scott. Yes, and I was married to a Scottish guy. We met in Kenya many years ago. We dated and then we got married, and we unmarried ourselves at some point. Yes. Now, my experience with marriage was not what I expected. I think marriage is overrated, to be honest, but that is for me. I would have just done the dating thing. It just didn't work for me. I mean, it's me, not him kind of thing. At some point, we just drifted apart, and I just didn't feel like that relationship was giving me what I expected. It just changed, let's just say. When we got married, it's almost like I was expecting the dating cycle to continue into the marriage, but it just didn't happen. And of course, I relocated, and I wasn't getting the jobs I wanted, so there was that frustration. And then it probably caused a little bit of tension in our relationship because I wasn't making as much money as he was, and I at a point where I probably needed that support, it wasn't there, and I just felt like, what the fuck, you know? So one of the many reasons that I married Mr. Scott was because he was very, very generous with me. And then of course, when we got married, I just felt like that was pulled back, and I was like, whoa, you know, I was getting so used to this little thing. So I will always love him forever and ever and ever, because he was my husband. He's the first man that actually ever married me. And he gave me his name that I kept. I've still kept it, so I still use that name, but no regrets whatsoever. And yeah, so that was marriage for me. Not exciting though. It was very exciting when we were dating, but the marriage thing, it's overrated. And then I have questions in my inbox. So let me have a look at my inbox, and then I'll let you guys know what's happening in there. And the other question is from Kate. Hi! Kate asked me, what keeps you so positive? So, what keeps me positive is that little thing that I was saying. I know how important it is to maintain a very good state of mind. So that is the first thing that I want to do. I want to protect my in here. The other thing is, I'm a big believer of the law of attraction. So I believe that if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, this day will be a shitty day, it will definitely be a shitty day. So the universe will deliver that shit on my table. If I wake up in the morning and I'm like, hi, good morning, it will be a lovely, lovely day, it's definitely going to be a lovely day. And guys, I can't explain it, but I wish things into my life and it works. It absolutely works. So yes, that is why I'm always positive. And you also asked, what do you think about sexual orientation, and what is your sexual orientation? Ooh. Now, this is a very interesting question. Now, when it comes to sexual orientation, there's so many sexual nuances out there. It's very fluid, they're very subtle. You know, little things about sexuality that happen in everyone's life that dictate what you're attracted to. For me, I'm very bisexual. So I will not come here and tell you, oh my God. No, I'm attracted to both sexes. And yes, when it comes to my thoughts about sexual orientation, I believe that people should be able to love who they want to love. And it's very important for us to respect that. We might not understand it, but human beings are very, fluid. And yes, there are studies that have confirmed that women are either bisexual or lesbian. So there is no straight woman out there. You can jump into this camera and strangle me if you want, but that is fact. You just haven't been that adventurous. When it comes to men, it's very different, but for women, they're very fluid. Yes, have I answered that question? I think I have. And then the other question is from Jen. So Jen, hi. Jen asked, first question, do you plan on having kids in the future? And let's address the first question first. Do I plan on having kids in the future? No, I don't. I get very broody, but I don't want kids because, I mean, when I look at the world and just how messy it is and what is happening around, I don't want to be responsible for bringing someone into this mess. So chances are that I will not have children in future. I love kids. I would have loved to be living in a world that is more conducive to bring up a child. But no, it's not the case. It's very messy and I don't want to indulge in that mess when it comes to having kids. So no, I don't want to have kids. I will address that on another vlog. I have a vlog specifically for that as well. And then second question, would you ever say I do again? Uchokozi, yes, it's Uchokozi. So would I ever say I do again? For some reason, I want to be engaged. I feel like someone engaging me is their way of telling me that they want to marry me. So like I said before, it's quite special when someone picks you as a life partner. Of course, we don't ever think that marriage will disintegrate at some point. But would I want to get married again? Maybe just so that I can have that big wedding and people can come and eat mudokoi and zo and drink wine on me, and I can have that big dress. I mean, actually, my wedding was very small and very private, and I loved it. I would do that again. So the thing that I'm not probably crazy about is the whole institutional thing, but I love the whole celebration and having people over and having the big cake and having all the wonderfulness. I absolutely love that. Yeah, so being engaged is almost like I want to marry you. So I'm ready to go to that next step with you. So I want to get engaged. And of course, I told my boyfriend if he engaged me, I would say no. So I don't know what I would want. But no, I wouldn't get married again. But I would like that proposal just so that I can, so that someone can show me that they want to move to that next step. My light has gone off, but we still have some light here. Now, the last question is about interracial relationships. So Jen has asked, what is a difference with dating interracial now that you're not in an interracial relationship, and about stereotypes, and are both relationships equal, and about spice, which one is a spicy one. So given that I'm going to do a vlog about my interracial marriage and relationships versus what I'm experiencing right now, I will have to address that on that video. So I will address this question on that vlog. I'm so excited. I'm getting so much content and questions already for the next vlog. So yes, I will definitely address that. But yeah, guys, thank you. Let me just check if, no, I'm not addressing any more questions. I think I've gone on and on and on, but it was lovely doing that. And I'll be doing Q&As every now and then. I really enjoyed that because it's so good when people actually forget my opinions and forget everything else. It's good for people to actually see me for who I am and ask me questions and get me to tell them my truth. So that was absolutely lovely. Everyone that took part in that, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Mwah. Thank you. And that's it for today. I'll just put my phone to the side and then I can say my goodbyes. So thanks guys so much for watching today. If you love what you've seen and heard, leave your like below. Do not forget to subscribe and prepare your questions for the next Q&A. Any other questions that will come after this. I know that it was quite short notice, so thank you so much for everyone who was quick in asking me the questions. But I will address all the other questions during the next Q&A session. Take good care of you and yours and have a great week, and be kind to yourself, okay? Be kind to yourselves, be positive, channel the positive vibes, and it works. It has worked for me, it will work for you. Take care of this, take care of this, and take care of this, okay? All right guys, bye. It was lovely today. I had so much fun. Thanks.